Good evening, groovy citizens, and happy, satisfying Saturday to each and every one of you. So, y'all, I don't know where you live, but here in the DMV area, it's actually a nice breeze blowing outside. However, it's kind of muggy out. And of course, as you can see, I just got in my vehicle and my dashboard says it's 87 degrees, but I'm sweating. You see all this perspiration. So if you hear my fan blowing, it's because I do have my AC on low. And yeah, so I'm gonna jump into this video because I have to run to the store and I need to get gas. I cannot believe for the last 2 days I forgot I needed gas. So I need to do that before it gets late. Like I said, get this video done, record my podcast, and I can just sit back.
Book update failed.
Thank you. I can sit back and relax for the rest of the evening. Now, today's topic, I'm going to be sharing from the topic, when forgiving is hard. And I'm going to share this quote with you. And it's from the Lone Wolf Motivation. As I stated before, this is not a sponsored video, but make sure you go over and check out their YouTube channel because they have great content there. And so this quote says, forgiving someone who has hurt us will never change that person. It will change us. I know it's difficult to conceive of forgiving someone who has hurt, betrayed, or deceived us. We don't want to do it because it's the only power we have left over that person with everything they have done to us. The only power we have left is the right to not forgive them. So we don't want to forgive. We don't want to because we don't understand that in reality, when we don't forgive someone, the only person we are punishing is ourselves. The only person we are harming is ourselves. Forgiving doesn't necessarily change people. They may not realize their mistakes, understand the harm they've caused, or regret their actions. When we don't forgive someone, we forget something very important. We are also not forgiving ourselves. And again, that's a quote from the Lone Wolf Motivation. So you guys, I won't keep you long, but I just really wanted to briefly talk about the importance of forgiving. And understand, I know it is so hard to forgive, especially when someone has wronged you, someone has hurt you. It's really hard to forgive. And then it's even harder when it seems like you're always the first person that's doing the forgiving. And you know in your heart of hearts that the person that you're forgiving, they don't really care one way or the other. They don't care about you. They don't care about your feelings. They just don't care. But as I stated before, and I've shared this with you all many times, as well as just people I interact with on a regular basis, when you choose not to forgive someone, all you're doing is hurting yourself. Because 9 times out of 10, the person that hurt you or wronged you, they have gone on about their business. They're not thinking about what they said or did. They're not thinking about you or your feelings. They moved on with their lives. But you're the one that's still hurt and angry and upset about whatever that thing was. And I've shared with you all before that I've experienced that firsthand with a guy that I dated. And I had decided that I was just not going to forgive him. And I realized that about 3 or 4 years or so had gone by and I still had not forgiven him. And then one day, I just sat there and I said, you know what, Michelle, it's time you let that go. It is time you let that go because all you're doing is hurting yourself. He has moved on with his life and he's probably enjoying his life somewhere. And even if he wasn't, doesn't really matter. But the fact is that he's moved on with his life and you are still mad, pissed off, angry, all of the above about the breakup that you all had. And in reality, it was the way it happened. So I decided right then and there, I said, Lord, I forgive him. And I forgive myself for allowing myself to carry this burden for so long. Because like I said, all it was doing was hurting me. because he didn't care one way or the other. And he didn't even know that I did not forgive him, and I still hadn't gotten over what happened. So I said all of that to say this. I want you all right now, today, this moment, whoever it is that has wronged you or has hurt you, I want you to make the decision that you are going to forgive them. And here's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying you have to call that person up and say, hey, so-and-so, you know what? I decided I'm going to forgive you for whatever happened. If you just choose to, maybe you see that person on a regular basis and you choose to share that, that's fine. However, you don't have to call that person up. All you have to do is tell yourself that you forgive them and then let it go. And you would be surprised at how freeing it feels when you decide to forgive somebody. Like I said, you free yourself. Why walk around with your, as I like to say, with your knickers in a twist over something that you can't change? Nothing you say or do will ever change what that person did. So why walk around being all uptight about it? Forgive them and move on, honey. Because again, as I stated before, you're not forgiving that individual for them. You're forgiving them for you, so that you can free yourself and you can now move on. I can't even begin to tell you how many people I have met in my lifetime who have been hurt in relationships, and because they chose not to, because it's a choice. So understand why I said chose, because it is a choice that you have to make to forgive, but they chose not to forgive. And as a result of that, they were never able to truly love or find love after that, because they would not forgive the person that hurt them. And I've had to say, listen, you're walking around here mad and butthurt over something that you can't change. It happened, you learn from it, and you move on. But don't deprive somebody else of the opportunity to truly love you the way you need to be loved, or care about you the way you need and or should be cared about, all because of something that somebody else did. Forgive that person, honey, and move on. Let it go. Remember, we talked about not focusing on things that we can't change. If you can't change it, why sit around stressing and worrying about it? I learned a long time ago not to keep worrying about and stressing over things that I can't do anything about. I mean, no, absolutely nothing. I cannot do a thing about it. So I'm forgiving folks and I'm moving on. Again, not for them, but for me. So I free myself, so that you free yourself, and you're able to go on and live a happy life without allowing that person or those persons to live rent-free in your head and in your heart. Because that's the other thing that happens when you choose not to forgive those people or that person. Honey, they are living rent-free in your mind and in your heart, and it's going to keep you from being able to build other relationships or even to trust other people because of the actions of one person. So hopefully something I said resonates with you and helps you to truly understand the importance of forgiving. And actually, I forgot to throw out there that we have to always remember that God forgives us daily. God forgives us daily. He forgives us every day for the things that we do, the things that we say, the things that we don't do. So if God can forgive us, why can't we forgive other people? Think about that. What if God decided, I'm not going to forgive Michelle or forgive Shirley or forgive Chris or Bob or whoever because of whatever it is that they did? I'm not going to forgive them. Can you imagine what your life would be like if God decided not to forgive you and not to allow his mercies and his blessings to fall upon you? Honey, you'd be in trouble. We'd be in trouble. So if God can forgive, guess what? So can we. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's going to be a process, and you may not be able to do it overnight, but I don't want you to allow whatever that hurt is to linger any longer than it has to. Decide that you're going to forgive. And here's the other thing. Sometimes people think, well, if I'm forgiving, then I'm forgetting. No, I didn't say you have to forget, because you always remember. When people show you who they are, honey, you remember that. So that way you don't make that mistake again. And I say that specifically if somebody hurts you and then some time goes by and they want to come back into your life. You need to remember what happened so that you don't allow yourself to fall back into that trap and be hurt again. But I digress. I'm not saying to forget, but I'm saying to learn from that situation, forgive, and then move on. I promise you, you'll feel so much better. And I can say that because I've been down that road and I know it to be true and factual. Now, having said that, I love you all, but I definitely got to get on up out of here because I got some things I need to do so I can get in bed, because tomorrow is church. And actually, it's Communion Sunday. So if you don't have a church home, I'd like to invite you to come to the Metropolitan Baptist Church. We are located in Largo, Maryland, and we have service at 8 a.m. as well as 10:15 a.m. And like I said, it is Communion Sunday, so I need to iron my communion dress for tomorrow. So come on by, worship with us, get your communion. You can also worship with us online. You can catch the live stream on YouTube as well as our Facebook page. Now, having said all of that, I want to bid you all good day. If you're new to watching my videos or new to my channel, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have not already subscribed, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to tap the bell, because I don't want you to miss anything. For those of you, this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. You know I miss you when I don't get a chance to see you. As I always like to say, enjoy the rest of this day, enjoy the rest of this weekend. Whatever you do, wherever you go, have fun. But most importantly, be careful and be safe, okay? Love you all. You know the drill, and you definitely know the spiel. I love you to the moon and back, and there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that you can ever do to change that, because I love each and every one of you. And guess what? The best is yet to come for you, and the best is yet to come for me. So let's start forgiving so we can live our best lives. Love you all. We'll talk again on Monday.